What's going on, Jerome's? Well, the favorite Minnesota Vikings fans' pastimes is trading Kirk Cousins' ass out of town and his massive contract. So here are 6 potential trade destinations for Kirk Cousins this offseason. I took out the CFL teams because, I don't know, he would basically be their entire salary cap, even when you convert to Canadian dollars, but whatever. But the Vikings can free up to $35 million if they move him off. They'll have $10 million dead. It's prorated signing bonus, but it may be a spot where they might have to Osweiler him just a little bit. So the Vikings may have to eat some of that cap just to get some significant trade capital. Who knows? Or maybe they can trade him full freight for a 2, but if they eat an extra $10 million of that cap, so $20 million dead, $25 million to the new team for a first, who really knows? But there's a couple factors that could actually increase Kirk Cousins' trade value here. Number one, Kirk played his best football this season of his career. Like this year, last year after the bye, I think Kirk has been above the rim, so respect there. Number two, this quarterback class, there will still be 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the first round. It's not top heavy. And we said, if you can find a place where you can bet that no quarterback will be taken in the top 5, maybe even top 7, I would lay a jelly bean down. I would consider it. And 3, you talk about all the quarterbacks who could move this offseason. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Packers and Rodgers kiss and make up. Possible. I mean, it really is about money and respect. I don't think Gutekunst being fired will actually change Rodgers' mind about things. So maybe they'll just throw stupid money at him. It's whatever. Russell Wilson, I think that he will be moved out of Seattle. But, I mean, Russ, even though Russ and Kirk are the same age, Russ is going to involve 3 first-round picks. And some teams may not want to do that for a little bit longer in the tooth quarterback. Especially, I mean, Kirk played better than Russ this year. And, yeah, part of that is Russ's thumb, but you know, and then lastly, Deshaun, I think that there is a chance if specifically Houston hires Brian Flores and Flores and Watson have seemed to have been a package deal. I think that there's a chance that Watson stays in Houston. So who really knows there? So that could increase and entice people to get into the Kirk Cousins business, and teams that are just on the cusp. They're just some solid quarterback play away, I think could be interested in Kirk Cousins. So let's run through the list. Number 6, the Washington Commanders. Oh, no. So this is a throwaway. Washington football team. They're going to be the Commanders, but they have the number 11 overall pick. They have $42.6 million in cap space. Now, I don't think that they could possibly Fran Tarkenton Kirk Cousins and bring him back. I think that the fan base could revolt, but also it could make some sense. But just that's pie in the sky stuff. I mean, Daniel Snyder isn't that dumb, right? Okay, maybe 5. Got the New Orleans Saints. That is not a typo on their cap space, by the way. They are $64 million in the hole, and that's without a premium quarterback contract. Yes, Taysom Hill has that weird flex contract, but wow. They have the number 18 overall pick in the first round this year. They're going to be out of the range of guys like Cody Pickett or Matt Corral or Malik Willis, who could be the top quarterbacks in this year's draft. And also, so even though I like the quarterbacks in this year's draft, I think all of them are firmly behind the top 5 of last year. So Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and crew. So that's crazy. That's crazy, man. But yeah, the Saints, Saints, stupid ass Saints, offer us 18 and some change, and you eat all of Kirk Cousins' contract. Mickey Loomis can cook the books. He pays his credit cards with his credit cards. You can make it work with the cap space, and then we'll move on with life. We'll call it even. Next up, number 4, potential trade destination for Kirk Cousins. The Carolina Panthers. So the Panthers at 6, I think that could be a betting favorite to be the first quarterback selected. So could they go Cody Pickett there? Could they go Willis? Could they go Corral? Could they go Sam Howell, keeping him in Carolina? It's possible, but a quarterback seems a little bit rich at that stage. And also Matt Rule needs to win games now. So potentially you could see a spot where the Panthers, they bring in a guy like Kirk Cousins, or they're obviously in the Deshaun sweepstakes last year. Maybe they go after Russ, bring him back to North Carolina, the pride of NC State. He did not go to college at Wisconsin. I do not acknowledge that one year. So, yeah, the Panthers could be in a spot where they take a swing on a veteran quarterback as opposed to drafting an in-house guy, because if they lose a bunch of games and with a rookie quarterback, I mean, you do have a tendency to do that, especially if you're a bad team to begin with. Matt Rule may not be around to watch that quarterback grow. So if Deshaun stays put, if Russ is too expensive, maybe the GM and ownership don't want to spend 3 first-round picks for Matt Rule on the quarterback since Matt Rule won't be around. Maybe they take a shot on Kirk. And maybe it's not the number 6 overall pick. Maybe it's their what? No, they don't have a second round pick because they traded it for Sam Darnold. Never mind. So it's got to be 6. All right. So maybe it's 6 for 12, and then a bunch of change. I don't know. They could work something out there. Next up, into the top 3 trade destinations for Kirk Cousins. The Steelers. Now, Pittsburgh has said that they're okay with their in-house quarterbacks, but no. I mean, Mason Rudolph, no. And you can tell, like, the Steelers do have a decent roster. I mean, T.J. Watt should be the defensive player of the year. And well, him and Micah Parsons is pretty close. You got Minka Fitzpatrick. You got Jumpin' Joe Hayden if he sticks around for another year. So, I mean, they're not bereft of talent. They still have some solid wide receivers. The offensive line needs some help. Najee Harris is a stud. And Kirk could be that bridge to whatever their next quarterback is going to be. Now, are they just going to stand pat at 20 and then take whatever quarterback is left over? They may be on quarterback 4 or 5 at that stage of the draft. I don't know. I don't know, but they have the cap space after moving on from Big Ben. If they want to be competitive in 2022, which I'm certain that they want to be, Steelers are always in the mix and aren't about that rebuild. Maybe they do go Gideon in the Kirk business, even though a lot of people have tried to tie the Steelers with Rodgers. Does he want to stay in cold weather? Does he want to be in a tough-ass division? I don't know. I don't know. Into the top 2. Speaking of a tough-ass division, the Cleveland Browns. That's right, baby. My name is Cleveland Brown, and I want Kirk Cousins. Baker Mayfield, no, it ain't going to happen. Never going to get it. This regime did not draft Baker Mayfield, so they're going to send him out to pasture. They would have had a better chance starting Case Keenum last year for most of the games. That's right. But Kirk Cousins, Kevin Stefanski, they go way back like chiropractic. If you put Kirk on the Browns, number 1, they're a playoff team. Number 2, they could do some damage because they have the best offensive line in football, so you're going to protect Kirk Cousins. They got some decent weapons. You got a good running game. Stefanski knows how to handle throttle up and throttle down on Kirk Cousins, so yeah, I think that the Browns could make a play for Kirk because, I mean, last year, double-digit wins. They won a playoff game. They beat the Steelers' ass, and that's got to be like, so close. So Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, get at us. Especially, ooh. All right, so say the Vikings hire Adolfo Mensa or the other Browns executive as their new GM. Then they like, hey, Andrew Berry, what's up? Kirk Cousins, let's do this. Kirk for 13, and we will eat an extra 10 million of the cap. So 20 million dead total. We will take it. Ooh, yeah, 12 and 13 back to back. Ooh, baby. Except then the Vikings have the same problem that we've outlined. The quarterback class is less than stellar. Yeah, it's not USDA prime. It's USDA choice. But yeah, what can you do there? Maybe roll Kellen on. I don't know. Lastly, number 1, trade destination for Kirk Cousins, the Denver Broncos. That's right. Jumpin' George Payton, old friend. They have the number 9 overall pick in the first round this year. They have $47.68 million in cap. Drew Lock is not the answer. Teddy's not the answer. The Broncos have all the weapons in the world, man. Like, they're absolutely star-studded. Well, not star-studded, but they're damn solid on offense. They can get it done on defense as well. But they are a quarterback away. And are you going to get your franchise quarterback at 9? Maybe. Like, do you like Malik Willis? Do you like Matt Corral? Or do you think that you can win now? I mean, this team started out 3-0. They barely missed out on the playoffs. They crashed and burned at the end. But I think that the people of Denver, they want a winner, man. They do. And George Payton, of course, knows Kirk Cousins. Maybe George Payton was all aboard the signing Kirk Cousins train back in 2018. Maybe he's aboard the extension of Kirk Cousins. Who knows? Yeah, but George Payton, well, he can't call up Rick anymore. Well, he can call up Rick, except Rick has no power. He can just be like, hey, Rick, how's your begonias? They coming in this year? Begonia's a flower, right? Whatever. So, yeah, get it done in that respect. So, that's it. That's taking a look at the trade destinations for Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson and Deshaun, whatever. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Pay that man his money. But until next time, Skull Production Value.